Welcome to Horror Stories YouTube channel, where the boundaries between reality and nightmare are blurred. Tonight, we delve into the haunting tale of the melancholy composer. In the sleepy town of Ravenswood, an ancient evil stirs. A mysterious wrecker, Ravenswood Melodies, has surfaced, entrancing listeners with its haunting harmonies. But beware, for this symphony weaves a spell of darkness, forever trapping souls in an eternal labyrinth. Join me as we unravel the terrifying tale of the melancholy composer and the cursed record that spreads its malevolent influence. Let's start the story. In the sleepy town of Ravenswood, nestled in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, a mysterious phenomenon began to spread. Residents reported finding strange, antique music boxes in their homes, with no signs of forced entry or explanation. The music boxes were exquisite, with intricate carvings and melodies that seemed to haunt the listeners. But there was something unsettling about them, something that made people feel like they were being watched. Dr. John Taylor, a psychologist with a passion for the paranormal, was intrigued by the strange occurrences. He discovered a connection between the music boxes and an ancient entity known as the melancholy composer. As John delved deeper, he realized the melancholy composer was not just an entity, but a gateway to a realm of unspeakable horrors. The composer, an ancient being with the power to manipulate reality through music, had been awakened. John's investigation led him to an abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town, where he found evidence of the melancholy composer's presence. The entity began to stalk John, manipulating his perceptions and reality. John became convinced that the melancholy composer held the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe. He spent every waking moment researching and experimenting, but his obsession came at a terrible cost. His colleagues began to notice his decline, and his patients started to fear him. John's grip on reality began to slip, and he became convinced that the melancholy composer was communicating with him through the music boxes. As John navigated the ever-changing labyrinth of Ravenswood, he encountered other victims, each with their own terrifying story. They spoke of eerie melodies that seemed to follow them, of shadowy figures lurking in the corners of their homes. John discovered an ancient text referencing a lost city where the melancholy composer's power originated. He became convinced that finding this city held the key to stopping the composer. John's search led him to the depths of the Amazon rainforest, where he encountered strange creatures and treacherous terrain. He found himself trapped in a world of eternal darkness, surrounded by the haunting melodies of the melancholy composer. The music seemed to weave a spell around John, drawing him deeper into the heart of madness. He began to see the world through the composer's eyes, and the horrors he witnessed were beyond human comprehension. John realized too late that the melancholy composer was not an entity, but a gateway to a realm of lost souls. The composer's true purpose was to trap souls, feeding on their fears. In a desperate bid to escape, John shattered his own sanity, merging with the melancholy composer. The entity's whisper echo in his mind. A new era begins. Ravenswood fell under John's control, and the melancholy composer's influence spread. The music boxes, once harmless trinkets, became instruments of terror, weaving a spell of eternal darkness over the town. Years passed, and the legend of John and the melancholy composer faded. But in the dead of night, when the wind whispers secrets, people wonder, is John still out there, composing? And when the darkness closes in, they tremble at the thought. The melancholy composer's influence never truly disappears. It's always waiting, patiently, for its next victim. Years passed, and Ravenswood became a ghost town, haunted by the eerie melodies of the melancholy composer. John's name was whispered in terror, and his story became a cautionary tale. But the true horror was far from over. John's merge with the melancholy composer had created a new entity, one that combined human and supernatural powers. The entity began to manipulate reality, bending time and space to its will. People reported seeing John's figure, standing in the shadows, his eyes black as coal. They heard the haunting melodies, echoing through the streets, drawing them deeper into the heart of madness. And then, there were the disappearances. At first, they were random, isolated incidents, but soon, the pattern became clear. Anyone who heard the melodies was drawn to Ravenswood, never to be seen again. The town became a vortex, sucking in victims like a black hole. John, now mere puppet of the melancholy composer, watched as the world around him descended into chaos. In the end, there was only silence. Ravenswood was left abandoned, a haunted shell of its former self. The music boxes, once instruments of terror, lay silent, their melodies forgot that the darkness remained, waiting patiently for its next victim. And in the depths of the Amazon rainforest, the lost city whispered its secrets to the wind. The melancholy composer's influence never truly disappeared. It's always waiting, patiently, for its next victim.